What is going on, guys? Welcome to an $800 gaming PC build. Let's get right into this with this CPU. For the CPU of this build, I went with the Intel Core i5 4690K. It's a 3.5 GHz quad-core CPU, and man, this is one of the best CPUs you can get for gaming right now. It's actually a little bit cheaper now on Amazon than it was a couple weeks ago. $224 right now. This is a great price for a fantastic CPU for gaming. This is also a K-series CPU, so if you do want to do some overclocking, you can get a cooler like the Hyper 212 Evo. That's a $20 CPU cooler, and you can take this bad boy up to 3.9 or 4.1 gigahertz, and it's going to be a pretty fast CPU. In gaming, this thing absolutely excels at, but it can do things like video editing and live streaming, just not as well as some of the AMD competitors that have 6 or 8 cores, because, you know, those applications use multiple cores, while the i5 only has 4 cores. But man, this is an extremely fast CPU for the money at 3.5 gigahertz and only $224 at gaming. If paired with a decent GPU, this thing's gonna absolutely kill through any game you throw at it. And for $224 on Amazon, this seemed like the right way to go. For the motherboard, I went with the Gigabyte GAZ97X-SLI motherboard. Really solid motherboard, just absolutely loaded with features for $123. 4 RAM slots. You can go for an SLI or Crossfire configuration. Supports up to DDR3 3000. Supports your Core i7s, your Core i5s, your Core i3s, your Pentium, your Celerons, all that stuff. And actually, if you buy it right now on Newegg, you get a free Gigabyte t-shirt. And the t-shirt's actually pretty dope, if you ask me. T-shirt's really cool. I like the Gigabyte logo. So, you're getting a free t-shirt, getting a really solid motherboard, and honestly, the Z97 board from Gigabyte is one of the best boards you can buy. It's got a lot of upgradability options. You got your SATA 6, your USB 3, great for overclocking as well. Like I said, you're getting a free t-shirt. Just seems like an all-around winner in my opinion, and a great motherboard for this build. For the RAM, G.Skill Ripjaw Series 8GB, 2 4GB sticks running at 1600 MHz for $83. A solid amount of RAM. It's 8GB. No reason to go for 12 or 16 gigabytes, because really at this point in 2014 and even in the future, gaming, it's really not necessary. A lot of games don't even take advantage of the full 8 gigabytes. Some games are starting to do so with Shadows of Mordor coming out, Dead Rising 3. 8 gigabytes is going to become more and more of a necessity since the newer consoles also have 8 gigabytes, so developers are going to start utilizing that a little bit more. So picking up 8 gigabytes now is a good idea. For the hard drive, Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB, just a 1TB hard drive, no SSD in this build. 1TB seemed pretty good to me, and if you guys want to pick up a 2 or 3TB, that's also an option. 2TB retail for about $80 to $90, and then 3TB are about $120. Why I always, tell you guys to think about getting 2 or 3TB drives is a lot of these games these days, the file sizes of them are increasing. A game like Wolfenstein New Order was 45 gigabytes, I think. Titanfall was around 50, and there's DLC coming out for it. So, nowadays 1TB seems to get filled up pretty quick if you're the kind of guy that likes to keep all his games installed. So keep that in mind. But 1TB is still pretty good if you're the kind of guy that is okay with uninstalling, reinstalling, stuff like that. And obviously that's free to do. I mean, Steam, all you do is uninstall a game. You can reinstall it whenever you want. So 1TB to me is still perfectly fine in these builds, but just keep in mind, if you are the kind of guy that wants everything installed at the same time, maybe getting something a little bit bigger isn't a bad idea. But like I said, this Western Digital Caviar Blue is 1TB, 7200 RPM, and it's only $55, so I thought this was a good fit in the build. For the graphics card, I went with the Sapphire Radeon R9 280X 3GB Dual X video card. $240 after a $10 mail-in rebate. You're also getting 3 free games from AMD's gold tier of games. That includes games like Sniper Elite 3, Murdered Soul Suspect, Thief, and a bunch of others. Free games with a very good GPU for 1080p gaming. Even 1440p gaming, this thing will excel at with 3 gigabytes of video buffer. But the 280X is a really awesome GPU. If you play games like Battlefield 4, DayZ, Metro Last Light, you're going to be running those games at 1080p at reasonably high settings and reasonably good frame rates. Maybe scratch DayZ aside, because that game's still in early access and is in early alpha. So that game is just iffy on its performance, so scratch that off. But the R9 280X is a great graphics card and can pretty much run any game at 1080p and reasonably good settings and reasonably good frame rates. For the power supply, EVGA 600 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. Now, one thing I have to note, this is $46, but You cannot go for a Crossfire configuration with this power supply. So if you guys do want to go for a Crossfire configuration, pick up a different power supply, say 750 watt and 800 watt. That's 80 plus bronze certified, or 80 plus silver certified, or 80 plus gold certified. Why I went with the 600 watt instead is because I'm not a big fan of Crossfire SLI. I've gone into that in several videos, so I'm not going to get into that tangent right now. But I just figured, let's just get a 600 watt. Let's save a little bit of money. It's only $46, and with the current build, it's going to power it no problem. The R9 280X is pretty power efficient for a high-end GPU, and the Core i5 as well is very power efficient, so I thought this would just be fine in the build. But if you, like I said, if you do want to go for a Crossfire configuration in the future, you're going to have to go with a 750 watt and 800 watt or something of that nature. Finally, for the case, went with the Antec 1 mid-tower case. A really good mid-tower case, kind of basic as far as the exterior goes, but the interior is fantastic, has a lot of good upgradability features, and a lot of space, and a lot of good airflow. This is a highly rated case, and Antec makes really awesome cases. Like I said, the exterior is just a little basic, but I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, it's just going to sit under your computer desk, so I don't think that's a problem. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember to hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment, and I will talk to you all later. Peace!